On Speak, Raiders superstar, in my mind, future Hall of Famer Davante Adams joining us, the three-time All-Pro, one of the stars of Netflix's newest docuseries, Receiver. You do not want to miss this one. When All-Pros speak, you better listen. And Davante is one of the best of the best to ever do it at that position. Well, speaking of the best, the Bears, they're looking to be the best in their division. First time in a long time. They got a superstar quarterback coming out of college. They added phenomenal weapons in Keenan Allen at the wide receiver position. You got a running back in DeAndre Swift. So now all the pressure is on the shoulders of head coach Matt Eberflus, entering his third year. In the NFL, that third year is a make or break season. That third year is oftentimes when coaches prove they can propel to a Super Bowl, or it's the time when coaches prove they're not enough and they get fired. James, I look at Eberflus, he's not being talked about enough. And I don't know if it's positively. He's the favorite by many people's stances in Vegas to win Coach of the Year. But I'm thinking if there's a weak link on the Chicago Bears, for me, it's Matt Eberflus at head coach. I don't think it's DeAndre Swift at running back. I don't think it's the wide receiver core. The Caleb Williams, the quarterback, I can't call him a weak link in large part because he's a rookie. So even if he struggles, he'll get rookie grace. It's not the linebacking core. They're a top 5 linebacking core in football between Edwards and Edmonds. It's not out there at cornerback. Shout out to them for signing Jalen Johnson and retaining him. So if I'm looking at a weak link, it's not Montez Sweat and the addition of them and the defensive line. The defense was number 2 in football after they added Montez Sweat last year. It's the head coach. That's the one player, person, entity in the organization that I got questions about and questions that he has to be able to answer. Caleb's a rookie. If he struggles, they're going to say he's a rookie. No doubt. Eberflus been coaching for a long time. After the Senior Bowl, I remember meeting Matt Eberflus. He was a linebacker coach for the Cowboys. He's been coaching a long time. Head coach going on year 3 now. I don't know that I see him winning Coach of the Year, but are you giving him a chance to win?
I'm giving him a chance because, number one, the Bears were garbage last year.
Yeah, weren't good.
Number 2, yes, they did upgrade the roster as they should because every team in the National Football League tries to upgrade their roster. But I think if he wins 10 games and Caleb Williams looks the part and looks the way he's supposed to look, he's going to get some credit for how he plays as well. And he will throw for more than 4,000 yards, which will be the most in franchise history. And I think they will have some attention on them that will give him Eberflus some attention to win Coach of the Year. But if they can get to 10 wins, that will put them in the division race. I know the Packers and the Lions is in there, but that will put them in the division race. I think he has a chance to win it with how the season went last year. I really do.
Joy Taylor, what you think?
Yeah, I think so too, just based off of how we judge Coach of the Year. We don't really give Coach of the Year to the best coach and the best team, even though we probably should.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Crazy you even saying that though. Like we don't get.
It's the truth. We want you to struggle. You got to win the Struggle Olympics to get the Coach of the Year. That's how that award is given out. It's very different than MVP and some of the other awards that we give out. So based on that, I would say yes because he's 10-24 as a head coach. 10-24. 3-14 record. The 14 losses in 2022 were the most in the history of the franchise since 1920. They won 7 games last year. They were not good. They were not good. And we expect them to be better this year. And with Caleb Williams, I think that they will. And if they are in contention for the division, which is a very hard division now, and he is able to put this roster together and elevate them to success, and they look well run, and they look functional, and Caleb is excelling, I could see him being in the race for that. And by the way, I think that's the only option he's got.
As a voter for Coach of the Year, the reason I don't think he will win it is because, to your mind, speaking of the psychology of voters, this year DeMeco Ryans and Kevin Stefanski were the top 2. Why DeMeco? Because we knew that the roster of the Houston Texans was atrocious as it pertains to NFL quality rosters. And it's not like C.J. Stroud was a number 1 overall pick. As Shady says often, Ohio State quarterbacks, they bust. C.J. Stroud was one of the first Ohio State quarterbacks in a long time to dominate, and he did it as a rookie. Kevin Stefanski with the Browns, he won 5 games or 4 games with 4 different quarterbacks, from P.J. Walker to Deshaun to Flacco to the quarterback from UCLA. There was a 5th-round pick whose name has forgotten me right now. Like, he won several games with several different quarterbacks. This dude, Eberflus, doesn't have that situation. You got Caleb, you got Swift, you got Keenan, you got Moore, you got others. I don't think, like Joy, you just said, the roster in my mind isn't destitute
But you don't think
But 3 more wins?
10 losses, though, last year, though. You don't think him changing
like
that
3
around?
more wins is a lot.
It's a lot, but I think about it like what Daboll did when Daboll won Coach of the Year with the Giants. You took a Giants team and Daniel Jones, who was a 5-win team. They won 9. They went to the playoffs with Daniel Jones, who nobody thinks anything of. Joy, if Caleb plays great this year, what we will say is, oh, he does. he's Caleb Williams. I don't think that we'll say Eberflus is like that. I think we're going to say he's a generational talent. Give credit to Caleb. For better or worse, I don't know, Shady, that Eberflus will get credit unless they win 13 or something.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we got to wait and see. I just think that I don't know how good of a coach he really is, but I feel like now that he has a nice roster, we'll see. But what if his quarterback, we know he's going to have a good career, but what if he's a rookie, right? And then what happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something you got to think about. I don't know. I think D'Amico Ryans wins it, though, right? The stuff he's building, like, if they go to the conference game, right? This is the Texans we talking about. Imagine the Texans in a world where they're playing in an AFC Championship game. They don't even add up. And he's did it in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see. That's a pick that I would take.
That would be fascinating. I can't wait for that one. Well, what else we can't wait for is some of the big names in the NBA have gone to other teams, but unfortunately the other teams aren't the Los Angeles Lakers. So staying in Southern California, from USC to the Los Angeles Lakers, the second round pick, taken number 55 overall by the Lakers, and he had his summer league debut scoring a whopping 4 points over the weekend. But as expected, criticism is on the rise, and his dad, Bron, offered some perspective on his son, saying, if Bronny wants to stop right now, or never played basketball, or just wanted to be a gamer, or wanted to be a chef, or wanted to be nothing to whatever, he could have done that. People don't understand how hard that is, and the commitment for him to be coming out of heart surgery less than a year ago, for him to be able to be in the NBA. The kid, he's special, but he doesn't care. He doesn't. It doesn't bother him. Speaking about the critics and the criticism. Bringing us on camera, that was a powerful quote. When I read it, I was like, y'all have to hear it. The show, we have to discuss it. Joy, you have to comment on it first. What was your reaction to what Bron had to say about all of it?
I think he's right. I think Bronny has handled the critics very well. Anytime that you're in the public eye in any capacity, you're going to have critics. This just goes along with the territory. It is not something that anyone is exempt from. You can be in movies, you could be in TV, you could be in sports, you can be in any kind of entertainment. You could, whatever it is that you do, the comment section is going to have its thoughts. And that's the way that it goes. You can't avoid it, and you can't control what people say about you. All you can control is your work and how people speak about your work and how people absorb your work. That's all you can do. And I think he's had the best example of all time in LeBron James in how to handle criticism, unfair criticism, over-the-top criticism, consistent criticism, criticism from every direction, criticism that doesn't make sense, some criticism that does make sense. No one has been criticized more than LeBron James. And I don't care what or who you want to present to me. The entire industry, in my opinion, of debate television and opinion television was built on LeBron James. He's been in the light since he was 16 years old. Yeah. The expectations of him coming into the league, what he's carried since he's been in the league, being the face of the league internationally, being involved in all sort of cultural discussions, the decision, the time in Miami, going back to Cleveland, the letter, like we can go on and on and on. To me, it could not be me. I know it couldn't be me. Because there is no way I'm not firing back at somebody. LeBron has handled nonstop criticism from the moment that he hit 16 years old to today in a way that I don't know that anyone else can, because I don't think there is a comp. So I think that Bronny has had an incredible example of how to handle criticism well. There's been times when LeBron has responded, of course. I'm not saying that. But compared to how much he's criticized and the way that he's handled criticism, I think Bronny has had a great example, and I haven't heard or seen Bronny react in a way that he, is warranted to. I like that athletes and public figures have the ability to have their own platforms and fire back at critics if they will, or explain themselves, or apologize if they need to, or not. That's the world that we live in. You can get criticized and you can speak on it. And he hasn't. So he's not going to be exempt from criticism. He's not going to be exempt from pressure. He's not going to be exempt from whatever unfair criticism or over-the-top criticism or haters or whatever it is. No one is exempt from that. And he is in a very unique position. So I think he's handled it well. And while, it might be a little extreme to say that no one cares, we all care a little bit. We all want to be received well. Very few people are cool just being the villain, even if it's been assigned to them or not. I think he's done a really good job, and I think he has the best example.
2-5. What's your response to what Bron said about Bronny?
I think LeBron's right. I mean, who knows his son better than him, right? Him and Savannah, they know their son better than anybody. I just think that when you have a guy like LeBron James and you're the father, right? I go through this with my son a little bit. Now, I'm not LeBron, but Like, my son wants to play football because I play football. When I go hang out with him and I drop him off at, like, little events with his friends, like, all his friends gravitate to me, right?